Yes. Off camera, I would say that not only do they not have systems in place for that, they also vilify reaching out for help.
Which political party is doing a really great job at helping with that?
Nobody.
None of them. Exactly. Zero.
Way to go, Tulsi Gabbard, dropping some heat on the way out. It's just wild to me, and I mentioned this before, just how radically people are shifting, like politically. I mean, I'm still very much in the same mindset that I was when I was in the military. Like, hey, I just want to be free. And so long as my freedom and happiness doesn't infringe on somebody else's freedom and happiness, I should be allowed to do what I want, right? I want to shoot fully automatic machine guns in a safe direction. Period. If somebody wants to be in the safety of their own home and smoke bad things, let them. The moment that they commit a crime because of or with that in mind, then yeah, nail them to the wall. But to harm yourself with consumption shouldn't be illegal. Do more people die from smoking rock or heart attacks every year? Clearly heart attacks. Why do we glorify drinking, which it's definitely going the opposite direction? People are not drinking like they used to at younger ages. Like when we came up, that was what you did.
That was the agenda.
Right.
How quickly can we get to mom's wine coolers?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not there anymore. However, for the longest time, they glorified it just like they glorified smoking cigarettes in like the 50s and 60s. And they demonized all of these other things. And it's like, well, you know, and I'm not advocating smoking rock. I'm just saying.
Are you sure?
I'm just saying if somebody wanted to do it, they should be allowed to do it in the privacy of their own home. I don't care. If you are able to have a bad habit and keep that bad habit to yourself, cool. Every time I've hit my e-cigarette around you and the wind blew the vapor towards your face, did I not go, sorry about that, and attempt to clear it out?
Yeah, I don't
it's
think
my bad habit.
That's apples to apples with smoking rock. I mean, how many people are able to smoke rock and it does not impact other people's lives negatively? I mean, I think it's
again, if they can do it without impacting other people.
Again, when was the last time somebody was addicted to smoking or smoking rock, as you said, or hard drugs, and it didn't affect other people negatively? Doing those things that affects people. Like, sure, maybe once or twice at home in a week, whatever, but that's not the kind of thing you do occasionally. People that behave and take hard drugs do them all the time. It immediately affects other people. I mean, it undoubtedly. Do you know anybody that does hard drugs and those choices didn't affect other people?
Yes. Off camera, I'll name one of somebody that you know, and you'd be like, what?
Could be, but to say that had no impact on anyone in their life, that's pretty tough. I was a drug addict for 10 years.
Yeah.
Pretty big group of friends that were all drug addicts. Everybody's choices affected other people in their lives negatively. Not that we were running around doing hard drugs in front of everyone, right?
Right.
The confines of our own homes, nonetheless, those choices absolutely had negative impacts on other people in our lives.
Right.
No
and
question.
I view it from a lens of easy results, often harsh, always fair. If you have any care for the people that are in your life, that you destroy their lives because you're a scumbag drug addict, then like, it is what it is. It might have been Jaime's episode where he's discussing how, or we just had him in the studio, where he's discussing how his bad decisions with substance abuse led him down that path where he was homeless and had to have
a drug addict.
Right. And had to have a serious look in the mirror.
I think that there's also and you would be able to speak to this with far more knowledge than I would because I was not in the military, but most of the people that I have crossed paths with that came out of the military that suffered from depression and drug abuse and alcoholism and homelessness, all of these things, their time in the military was over. And then the things that they experienced were never, the military had nothing in place to help them figure out how to unpack and reacclimate into society. And so they just got thrown back into it. And of course things went sideways. That's really sad.
I would say that not only do they not have systems in place for that, they also vilify reaching out for help.
You mentioned that with Jaime, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I also mentioned the fact that we live this type of life where everything is right now, right now, right now. Go, 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 go. Hurry up and wait most of the time, right? But it's very high stress. And I'm not getting on some woe is me shit. I'm just talking analytically. It's very high stress. You're living in situations that most people don't live in. And you have, I mean, that veteran body thing, like, yeah, it's the amount of cortisol that we end up having in our systems from navigating
Nonstop stress.
Right.
Nonstop stress.
And then when you put into consideration, like, combat, and you put into consideration a lot of different factors, a lot of us, when we get out, we're chasing that rush. We're chasing that adrenaline that we felt when we had to be in, incoming mortar attacks or such, right? Indirect and direct fire attacks. And so a lot of us get into riding motorcycles. A lot of us get into skydiving. A lot of us get into shooting sports. A lot of us get into combat sports. And, it's that chase of feeling alive again.
Sure.
And I'm not going after my brothers and sisters in arms. However, I've seen ample amounts of people that peaked in the military. It's like peaking in high school. They peaked in the military. They, I know tons of them that were picked on in high school, so they joined the military to prove themselves and what a man they are. And then they peaked in the military, and then they got out thinking, they were just the cock of the walk, and then ended up, wait, what? This is what reality is? This sucks. I hate this. And so they turn to substance abuse. They turn to gambling addictions. They turn to alcoholism. So again, substance abuse. But I mean, even more, illicit substances. And I think it's just a way to attempt to fill a void. And it's like, okay, but also flip side of that coin is if you're capable of mitigating where those attentions go to, entrepreneur veterans are something like 80% more likely to have success in their first 5 years of having a business because of all of those same factors. We are conditioned to handle problems, and entrepreneurs have to be able to handle problems.
Military is built on systems and structure from the ground up. I don't know how well that's executed, but that's what that is. So I can imagine that, yeah, people that come out of the military understand structure to a degree in a way that a lot of kids coming out of high school and going into the workforce don't really. And there's a different level of accountability I'd assume that you would have to have in the military.
Yeah.
Right. That most people don't really experience just coming out of high school and going into a generic workforce. That makes total sense. I would like to think, I'm hopeful that ideally if there were programs specifically for veterans to help them as they're coming out of the military and reacclimating into society, that level of homelessness and drug abuse and substance abuse rather that is so common that would be cut down significantly if there was actually help in that space. And so to your point about like homelessness for veterans, like this is a huge problem in this country.
Yeah.
And which political party is doing a really great job at helping with that?
Nobody.
None of them. Exactly. Zero.
I mean, yeah, man. I got a ton of opinions, and I'm not going to hop up on a soapbox right now with them because I could marathon this shit.
It's crazy the amount of issues that are huge social issues in this country that people are aware of and talk about, and no one's doing anything about it. They'll talk about how they're going to do things about it, and they'll say this is getting better. But you can go look at the numbers; it's not getting better. But no one will actually go and look up the information and follow up. So we're being told all the time this is getting better, and it's not.
I mean, release the files.
I mean, they did release a whole bunch, Eddie. That wasn't enough?
Legally, no. Legally, no. Redacted.
Redactions on top of redactions.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
I loved when they had that slip up where they censored it and it was like, oh, you just have to do this and it shows everything. Yeah. I hope that somebody just massively downloaded all of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of that, yeah.
I don't want to get too political on the show. However, I will say, release the damn files and don't ever campaign on something that you're not going to do. I think it's wild to me that, I don't want to say bring back tar and feathers. However, that was pretty effective in its time.
I have some pretty strong opinions about what the population should be doing with most of our political class.
I mean, that's the reason that I support the people that I support, because I believe that they are genuine and I believe in what they're doing. And I don't believe that once they get into office that they're just going to be that typical DC scumbag who makes big promises, doesn't deliver on shit. And,
we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, however, let's look at the positive side of things. Way to go, Tulsi Gabbard. Dropping some heat on the way out. Who is that dude? The military guy? Totally spacing. I want to say his name was Joe something or other.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Within like the last 2 months, the guy basically burned Trump and then like walked out. Stand by.
Okay, boomer.
Shut up.
You've got 3 AIs on your phone right now. We're going to drop a 4th.
Are we though? Who was the recent cabinet pick from Trump's administration that quit his job because he felt ethical concerns were compromised? That's not him. Joe Kent. Are you tired of big corporations farming you for views? So are we. We're just 2 poor guys that are trying to put together a podcast. So if you can give us some help by doing a like, share, comment, subscribe, or save, it helps us trend in the algorithms. Thanks.